It is the Extratime.com League of Ireland Voice Notes podcast coming to you from the RSC, where Waterford got a much needed victory against Dundalk, 2-1, the final score. Bellis and Amond with first half goals for the Blues. Gullen got one back for Dundalk in the second half, but they couldn't find an equaliser and remain bottom of the table. A victory for the Lily Whites tonight would have lifted them off the bottom, but look, it's been a really, really tough couple of weeks for them. The players, in fairness, gave it everything tonight, and at the end of the match, the Dundalk players were in front of the Dundalk supporters, and there was a lot of them, so fair play to them for travelling down from the town, but there was no negativity. They were clapping them, they were cheering them, they appreciated the effort, and it was an effort from Dundalk, but Waterford just had a little bit too much for them this evening. We'll have more from the Dundalk and Waterford camps in a bit of a while, but first let's get some reaction to this game. By the way, we'll also have reaction from Donal Ryan and Barry Murphy, who both watched Shamrock Rovers beat Sligo Rovers by 4-0. There'll also be more from the Cup, where it has been a very good night for Bohemians, who overcame Dundalk, who overcame UCD 4-0, and Drogheda, who beat Athlone by 4-1. Wexford also through to the Sports Direct Men's FAI Cup semi-final with a 4-1 victory against Treaty United. John Frost, formerly of Waterford, and St. Pat's, you were on LOI TV duty tonight. What did you make of it?
Well, it was a very interesting game. Waterford played fantastic football in the first half, but as well as they played, Dundalk were unlucky not to get a penalty, and turn the game on its head. But they did manage to turn the game on its head. Then when they managed to go 2-1, fantastic play out of Hakiki and Gullen, who's their top goal scorer in 5. He's on 6 now after tonight. Managed to get in between Radkowski and the keeper. A fantastic finish. And all these players for Dundalk would be putting their hand up saying for Daly, start me the next day. Do you know what I mean? So I think they take a lot of solace from the subs they brought on, the impact and the performance in the second half.
We'll talk about Waterford in just a second, but what about Dundalk? I know you've been around the league a long, long time. I'm not sure you've ever been in the kind of situation the Dundalk players are in at the moment, where you don't know if you're going to get paid, you don't know what the future holds, but to produce the performance they did and the effort they did, that's admirable, isn't it?
Oh, it sure is, and Oisin, I have been in that situation, and it's an interesting situation. You might look at the...
How tough is it?
It's tough, a bit of a mind game as regards, if the local lads, and they might put their head down and trust the club, that the club will sort it out. And then the lads that aren't from the area, they might row in with the local lads, and then it's up to the manager to galvanise them. But especially with Dundalk, with the supporters after putting their hand in their pocket and raising money, it's a good tool for Daly to use, to go, look what the supporters are doing.
And how big a boost is it to the players that at the end of the game tonight, the Dundalk players walked over towards the supporters and they got nothing but love, nothing but support?
It's massive. It's massive for the morale of the team. For the players to see, and it's about the manager driving it home, which he is doing, I'm sure. Showing like what it means to the supporters, what the supporters are doing. So you go out on the pitch and you don't leave anything in the dressing room. You leave it all out on the pitch. So Dundalk will have that, and especially with the likes of Horgan, Mountney, Benson, Boyle. He's got those old stalwarts, and this club means an awful lot to those players. So between the fans, between those stalwarts, between the manager, I'm sure they will galvanise it. And they can take a lot of solace then from their performance in the second half, from the impact the subs made. But they need to start games better, because Waterford started off really well.
Let's talk about Waterford, because they were the winners tonight. They were never out of the European conversation, but they're very much back in it. And Padraig Hammond rewarded the club for rewarding him with a new deal with a goal tonight. He put them 2-0 up after Scott Bellis. Another great piece of recruitment by Keith Long put them 1-0 up.
Yeah, for sure. It was a fantastic morale booster during the week to hear that Padraig Hammond has signed for the club, and that's what we were saying during the week. Last season, leading into this year, was the first time in a long, long time I've seen Waterford keep a cohort of players from the previous season and not build from scratch. Usually it's disband the squad and build from scratch, and you're hoping it's a lucky bag that it'd be good enough to stay up. But last season, leading into this year, we Waterford kept a cohort of players, which was fantastic. The likes of Bagley, etc., etc. And to see Waterford building again, starting with Amond, it's fantastic to see. And I suppose where Waterford finish in the league will dictate who they can sign or not sign for next year.
So it's an odd one next week, the Frosty Derby, Waterford going to St. Pat's, a Waterford man who supports Cork City on commentary for St. Pat's, John Frost going along. I'm not sure who you'll be supporting. Waterford won't. That's a silly question, isn't it? But look, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a big game, isn't it? Because Pats need to win every game between now and the end of the season to try and reach the European spots. Waterford need to kick on from here. It's on in Richmond Park, and Stephen Kenny was here tonight for two reasons. One, to watch Waterford, and two, to watch his son. But next week's a big game.
Yeah, it is a big game, and Pats have really turned it around, got their shop in order. As I said, they worked it from the back, build up from the back, and they've gone the whole way through the team now. And Stephen Kenny recruited really well, and then he'll bring in his own ideas and galvanise them. And they're a different animal to what they were at the start of the season. And Waterford, though, they like a game of football, and that's what they'll get up in St. Pat's, so it should make for a good spectacle. And we've done well against Pats this year, even though we've been up against it at times. We've managed to get something from them at home and up there, so it makes for a good old contest, yeah.
OK, John Frost, as always, thank you very much for joining us here at the RSC. Waterford beating Dundalk by 2-1. Still to come, Barry Murphy, formerly of Shamrock Rovers, and Shamrock Rovers win against Sligo Rovers. We'll also have a voice note from Donal Ryan of Ocean FM and, of course, Extratime.com. He was at that game. But first, let's get some reaction from both camps here at the RSC. Jon Daly, Dundalk manager, 2-1 defeat here at the RSC to Waterford. Look, the result was disappointing, but I can't imagine you're disappointed with the effort because your lads put in a shift tonight.
No, they did. I think the biggest disappointment from the game is probably the 2 goals we conceded. I think, you look at all week Amund's movement and his use of his body when the ball comes forward, and I think we shouldn't have got done with the first one. We should have known that he was going to try and bump him at that last second, and he does it well. And we've not won the first contact, and then to be fair to them, they've finished it off well and got themselves ahead after 4 minutes, and we had a big chance then to go 1-1 with when Ryan O'Kane goes around the goalkeeper and squares it, and Horgan puts it past the post. And they're the kind of little moments or the little things at the minute that aren't falling for us. And but no, I think the effort, as you said, I think everybody could see the effort was there. It was just probably the last little bits of maybe quality that we need to convert them chances that was lacking tonight.
You should have had a penalty in the first half as well, shouldn't you?
I should have. I wish you were reffing the game. No, look, I went to see him afterwards because that's 2 weeks in a row now. I think last week we had one on Dara Keane that against Pats when Aaron Bulger, takes him out of the chest and we don't get, and then tonight, it's a handball. It's a clear handball. And
did he explain how or why he didn't give it? Because look, refereeing is tough, but that was as obvious a penalty as I've ever seen.
Yeah, look, he's just said his angle, he couldn't see it, and look, I can only take his word for it. If he's not seen it, he's not seen it. But I think between the 4 of them, they should have seen it. I think there was enough different angles of the incident from the 4 officials that one of them has to take ownership and give the penalty. And from our angle, it was clear. So the 4th official for me should see it. The 2 linesmen should see it. I get if Rob doesn't see it with the bodies in his way. But that's why they're there. They're not called linesmen anymore. They're called assistant referees, and they're there to assist the ref to help him and to make sure that he gets the big decisions right. And it's a huge decision that he's not given. Because for me, then it leads to a red card. It's a penalty and a red card because his arm is outstretched to stop the clear goal scoring opportunity. And it just feels like a big decision hasn't gone your way again. And they do say when you're down there, these things go against you, but I never believed that until I came here.
Well, they were literally the words I used in commentary. When you're at the bottom, those things go against you. How difficult is it at the moment, day to day, when the club is in the situation it's in?
Look, I'm not going to stand here and paint a pretty picture. It's tough. Obviously, it's tough. It's the players are obviously there's a lot of kind of uncertainty about the place, and I have to say, look, and it doesn't just affect the players or the footballing staff, it's everybody around the club and everybody that works the club, the fans, everybody. And you know, I have to give credit to the admin staff that are trying extremely hard to keep things going and to keep making sure that you know, that everything is done properly. And you know, Peter Halpin, Eilish Kelly in the office, they're working extremely hard and they're trying their best to make sure that everything goes the right way. And you know, it's very easy. Probably they're the ones, you know, from our point of view, we're obviously away training, getting ready for games. They're the ones that are in the front line, the firing line of people ringing up, querying about things, and they're the ones that have to probably deal with the probably more, you know, the situation straight away. And it's, you know, I feel for them. They're obviously working as hard as they can to fix things, and it's no, it is tough, but I think from our point of view, we've had a good week's training. The boys have been in good form, good spirits. Everybody's supporting each other in terms of, you know, you can see the fans getting behind the group, but within the group, all the boys are supporting each other as much as they possibly can. We're not allowing anyone to suffer alone. So no, it's tough, but it's. I'm not going to stand here and say that that's the reason we lost tonight. We lost tonight because we gave away 2 sloppy goals and didn't take the chances that we created at the other end.
And finally, how much did it mean to you and the players that at the end of the game, when you walked over to the supporters, and there was a lot of them here tonight, and it's not a short trip, they applauded, they encouraged, it was all positive. That must mean something.
It does, and well, you know, I think it's been like that for a lot of games. It's not just tonight. It's been a lot of games where I think they've appreciated the effort that the players have put in and what they've seen from the players, and they understand that, you know, they've come out the wrong side again of a very, very tight game, and something, you know, I think they'll look at the highlights and the chances created and they'll probably think we should have got something, but unfortunately for us we haven't, and it's we need to start really focusing on them last little bits, them last little actions in the final third to convert. And I think we've probably only had 1 or 2 games where, you know, we've been clinical. I think Pats away we won 3-2, at home to Drogheda when we won 4-2, where we've been really, really clinical in front of goal. And the other games we probably haven't been as clinical as we would have liked. And I think when you give away 2 sloppy goals and you're not clinical, there's only one outcome, and unfortunately for us that's a defeat.
Jon, thanks for chatting and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Wilson.
Dundalk FC manager Jon Daly speaking to me a little bit earlier on at the RSC. Let's go up the road to Tallaght Stadium. Still to come, by the way. Patrick O'Connor will tell us about Bohemians' win against UCD in the Cup. But before all that, the analysis of Barry Murphy on Shamrock Rovers against Sligo Rovers. He'll also look ahead to Shamrock Rovers against Galway United. Donal Ryan of Ocean FM and Extratime.com was in Tallaght tonight, though, to watch Shamrock Rovers beat Sligo Rovers by 4-0. And afterwards, he sent us this voice note.
Thanks, Oisin. Yeah, full time here in Tallaght Stadium, and it's finished. Shamrock Rovers 4, Sligo Rovers 0. And it was Sligo Rovers that had the better of the ball for large periods of the first half. A couple of decent chances falling away. Will Fitzgerald and Reece Hutchinson, good combination play down their left hand side, but Rovers just couldn't make it count. Against the run of play, Shamrock Rovers took the lead when Johnny Kenny nipped in behind the defence and slotted beyond Ed McGinty to give Shamrock Rovers the lead. Couple of contentious moments then at the end of the first half when Wilson Muweru could have had a penalty shout after he went down in the box. A bit of to and fro, and saw a hand land on his face from a Shamrock Rovers player, but the referee said to play on, and Johnny Kenny was straight in again, capitalising on a defensive error from Gareth McElroy, just making his second start for Sligo Rovers to make it 2-0 just before the break. Another hot moment at the end of the first half was Leon Poles once again coming outside of his box to take out Simon Power. Sligo Rovers fans incensed that the Shamrock Rovers keeper only saw yellow for it. Couldn't capitalise on the resultant free kick either, and Shamrock Rovers went in at the break 2 to the good. Things got worse for Sligo Rovers just at the start of the second half when Jack Henry Francis, the man on loan from Arsenal, was shown a second yellow card, and Sligo Rovers were down to 10 and went from bad to worse for the bitter red. Then as Sean Hoare leapt up and unmarked to nod home and make it 3-0 Shamrock Rovers, and Hoare then got his second on 83 minutes. Glancing header from a corner swung in from the left hand side. So full time here in Tallaght Stadium. Shamrock Rovers making up ground in the race for Europe. Sligo Rovers slipping back down to fourth after Waterford's win this evening. So full time here in Tallaght Stadium. It's Shamrock Rovers 4, Sligo Rovers 0.
It is the Extratime.com League of Ireland Voice Notes podcast, and such is the glamour of podcasting, especially League of Ireland podcasting. I'm sitting in my car in the car park of the RSC. Barry Murphy joins me from his salubrious South Dublin home, and we're about to talk Shamrock Rovers against Sligo Rovers. Now, Donal Ryan obviously has just informed you of how the game unfolded. 4-0 Shamrock Rovers won it. Barry Murphy will add a bit of meat to the bones. Barry, first of all, a timely return to form domestically for Shamrock Rovers, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, return of some players as well to coincide with that. Jack Byrne was excellent again tonight. Got good minutes under his belt. Stephen Bradley decided to change things around. Obviously, knew of the game on Monday and looking ahead to the European games, trying to get some minutes into the legs of lads on the bench. Danny Mandrew got a start as well. Johnny Kenny back up top and looking as potent as ever. But yeah, really good from Shamrock Rovers tonight.
What was so impressive about them?
Played with fluidity, power, pace. They were excellent. They were clinical up top. Johnny Kenny missed a chance early on, a great chance. Denham and McElroy had a bit of a nightmare at the back as centre halves, very young centre halves. The average age was 22 of the team. Sligo team, and they showed every bit of that naivety on the pitch, coughing up chance after chance. McElroy gave the ball to Johnny Kenny on the edge of the box and got in on McGinty, and McGinty made a great save, and then a couple of minutes later he does the same thing, and Johnny Kenny takes advantage of it this time. They're just clinical in front of goal, and that's something that Rovers have been missing the last couple of weeks, and when you look at it, they've only got 5 wins out of 13 at home. For Shamrock Rovers, it's been really poor form at home, but tonight they look like a team that has won 4 in a row.
We'll talk more about Shamrock Rovers in a second, but you hit on it there. A young centre-back pairing for Sligo Rovers. They're really missing Mahon, who, and you have to excuse my ignorance if I'm wrong, is still out injured, and Pineacker. And that creates a massive, big, gaping hole at the back. And like as much work as these young fellas are doing, it's hard to just step up and be a centre-back pairing, especially in the League of Ireland. I think it's not a place that is kind to naivety.
No, not at all. And they showed that naivety tonight. Hutchison was very good at left back. Going forward, he was excellent. He's like Cafu going forward, but on the other way, he was really poor at the back, and they just get coughed up chance after chance. You could see how they conceded 7 against Drogheda, and they conceded a lot of late. The second worst goals conceded rate in the league at the moment. You can just see why, because they're so good going forward in patches as well. They're probably the better team in the opening 20 minutes. That's 3 of John Henry Francis, Malley and Chapman. They were lovely to watch. A couple of excellent triangles in the middle and just missing that killer pass in around the edge of the box. And if only they had a Johnny Kenny up top, they'd have taken a couple of chances earlier on.
And that European race is very interesting now, and it's a tough one to call. Sligo Rovers were in pole position coming into tonight. They're still very much there despite the defeat. Waterford ended a bit of a poor run from their point of view with the 2-1 win against Dundalk that we've been hearing about. Galway will play on Monday night against Shamrock Rovers, and St. Pat's are beginning to build up a bit of a head of steam, and they meet Waterford next Friday night in what is a huge game. So that race for 3rd/4th it's interesting, isn't it? But it's mad that Sligo Rovers can take some of the thrashings that they've taken in recent weeks, yet still they're in the race, because as bad as those performances were, they've put in some good ones as well.
Yeah, I think they had 6 wins out of 8 at one stage in the last couple of weeks as well. It's incredible, but when they go nuclear, they really go nuclear. They can see some really poor goals, and it's not a case of losing 1 or 2-0. The last couple of results have been 3 and 4, and obviously that's 7 as well. So I just don't trust them to not go on a couple of bad runs like that to stay in that European race. Whereas Galway will never give up those type of chances, so they'll always win 1-0 or lose 1-0. So I just fancy them more in Waterford again, a bit up and down. But Rovers are clawing things back now, and they win on Monday now against Galway, and they're right back into. Some feel they'll be back into the title race, but they'll certainly be in that European race.
I want to talk about Shamrock Rovers and Monday night against Galway United. Do you think now they can put kind of the back-to-back performances together in the one weekend?
That's the thing. It's something they haven't done all season, and especially against Galway. Galway have been so good against them, especially in Tala. They were so good going down to DC Park. It'd be a tight pitch. It'd be really tough for Shamrock Rovers to go down there, and then you back that up with a game up in Brandywell next weekend. If you could pull off 6 points, you just never know. But Galway, as I said, they're so tight and one of the best defences in the league. And tonight, Rovers opened up Sligo. That's the first time I've seen them really open up a team in the league, bar Europe. First time in a while now. It could have been 5 or 6 really if they'd have really put their foot on the pedal, especially after the sending off, which was really harsh. But after that, it could have been any score. So it's the first time Rovers have really hit their stride, and it's coming at a good time for them.
Okay, well, look, let's move off Shamrock Rovers because we've talked about them an awful lot this season, given their exploits in Europe and just given that they're always a talking point. Look, we've had an awful lot on Dundalk tonight, but can I ask you, Barry, as someone who has been through it in the League of Ireland, regards being at a club where there's a lot of uncertainty and you don't know if you'll be paid and you don't know what's happening, how tough is it for these Dundalk players at the moment in your experience?
It's horrendous. It's really poor. I went through it myself at Bohemians. It was 18 weeks without getting paid at one stage, and it's not at that stage yet for Dundalk, but it's the uncertainty of a paycheck. It's not just them missing a week's payment; they're paid monthly, so they missed out on 4 weeks' pay. It's really incredible that we're still at this stage, and how much the league has progressed. And Dundalk has been a basket case off the field for years. And it's the fans and the players I feel sorry for. The alarm bell should have been ringing ages ago when Ainscough took over and ditched Kerry so quickly. I think it's you can do all the due diligence you want, but you can't measure really intentions. And he's a businessman, so we knew he was getting in for when he looked through the books. He just thought he couldn't get the people on board that he wanted to. And yeah, listen, it's just madness when you think that they only signed that Darryl Horgan to a new multi-year contract last month as well. So it's just come out of the blue for some of these staff and players as well. But it's so disappointing. And it can really rally a team, though. It can go one or two ways with them getting paid this week. It can rally a team, but it obviously hasn't paid off tonight for them.
Barry, thank you very much for joining us. We might talk to you on Monday night after Shamrock Rovers in Galway and another busy weekend. But thanks for joining us on the Extratime.com League of Ireland Voice Notes podcast.
Cheers, guys.
Always good to hear from Barry Murphy. I'm still in the environs of the RSC, where Waterford overcame Dundalk 2-1 tonight in the league. Earlier on in the Cup, a big win for Drogheda. They're through to the Sports Direct Men's FAI Cup semi-finals, thanks to a 4-1 victory away to Athlone. Wexford of the First Division also through at the UCD Bowl. UCD beaten 4-0 by Bohemians. Extratime.com's Patrick O'Connor was at that game, and afterwards sent us this voice note.
This is a more than comfortable victory for Bohs tonight against the students, and they're on march on to the semi-final, looking obviously to make their third final in 4 years. They have yet to win one. On the basis of tonight's performance, this could well be their year. In truth, the result of this game was never in doubt. Did try hard in the first half, and some of their players like Sean Brennan, Mikey Raggett and the evergreen Ronan Finn certainly played well and put it up to Bohs at times, but it was really one-way traffic for most of the games. Bohs had the bulk of the possession, and the breakthrough goal came in the 34th minute, and it was once again man of the match, Ross Tierney, who was the guy that broke the deadlock. Denny Grant had a part to play in it. The ball was worked wide to him on the left wing. He flew past the UCD right back, fired the ball across the box, a sort of a pull back, and Tierney was rushing in first time into the net past Keane Moore. 1-0 to Bohs, and more than they deserved at that stage, because they had been very much on top right from the kick-off. It did remain 1-0 at half-time. It didn't take long in the second half for the second goal to come in around the 55th minute. Again, Bohs had lots of players driving forward, quite a few players in the box. Did bobble around for a while. Tierney sort of withdrew to the left-hand side of the box on his own, unmarked, and when the ball broke to him, he flashed it to the net to make it 2-0, and really it was game over at that stage. He did go down with an injury after that, and Reynolds obviously made the right decision because they have lots of other important games coming up, and he was withdrawn. One of the other decisive moments came 4 minutes later when UCD were reduced to 10 men. Niall Holohan got a straight red. Again, Bohs were driving forward, this time with James Clark, who was playing as a sort of a false nine tonight. He was heading towards goal. 3 UC defenders in his wake, and one of them, Holohan, dragged him down, and referee had no choice but to give him a red card, so he walked to the dressing room. UCD were down to 10 men. It was really a procession after that. There could have been any number of goals. UCD defended valiantly, to be fair to them. Alan Reynolds unloaded his bench, and 2 of his subs actually ended up on the scoreline, showing the strength and depth that they have. First of those came in the 88th minute. Again, Bohs knocking it around, playing nice 1-2s in the box. It fell to Alex Grieve, who had come on for Tierney, and he fired it into the net. 3-0 at that stage. It was certainly game over. But in fact, right on the last minute of the game, there were 3 minutes of additional time. So on the 93rd minute, Bohs were driving forward. Grieve this time acted as a provider. He laid the ball back into the path of Miller, who was on international duty with Estonia last week, and he fired it into the bottom corner of the net from outside the box. 4-0, and on the kick-off, the referee Damien McGrath blew for full time. So a relief for UCD at that stage. It was a tough night at the office for them. They were pretty much outclassed. They will obviously just concentrate on maintaining their second position in the first division and get into a promotion playoff. That's their one remaining goal at this stage. Bohs look safe in the Premier Division, and they will be very fully focused on the semi-final, and as I said earlier, aiming to get to the final, FAI Cup final in the Aviva early in November. So good night at the office for Bohs. Final score 4-0. Patrick O'Connor, Extratime.com.
Well, that's almost it for the Extratime.com League of Ireland Voice Notes podcast. A big game today as you listen in the Sports Direct Men's FAI Cup. It's the quarter-final between Derry City and Shelbourne. It kicks off at 5:45. It is live on RTE television. The draw for the semi-final, by the way, semi-finals I should say, will be made afterwards. Also today, that's Saturday, in the SSE Electricity Women's Premier Division, DLR Waves take on Galway United. Shamrock Rovers meet Sligo Rovers. Cork City up against Wexford. Peaman take on Bohs, and Treaty United are up against Athlone. On Monday, of course, there's that Premier Division game between Galway United and Shamrock Rovers. It kicks off at 7:45 in Eamon DC Park. As always, you can contact me via X at Oisin Langan, or you can contact Extratime.com on their WhatsApp number. The number is on the website, or you can get them via X on at Extratime News. From myself, Oisin Langan, and all the team, I will say good night. But again, you're probably listening on the daytime, maybe Saturday morning. I don't know. You listen when you want to listen. That's up to you. I will say good day to you. Take care. Bye-bye.